Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So last time I finished the main bit of her hair, just have a few little things I want to fix, just right over here. Was not entirely happy with how that was lifting up here. I think it still looks a little bit weird. So, I'm going to go in and hide the side bang here. There we go. And hopefully this will let me see what's going on here just a little bit better. Is it just that strand, or is there something about the hair behind it as well? That is the question that I'm asking myself. So, once I can actually find the layer the strand is on... just a tiny bit of strangeness right there. That might be affecting where I'm putting certain things, so... I'll take a moment to fix that. Let's see if that's a little bit better. A little bit. I probably don't need to get it too much better than this, but it's fine. I'll just go ahead and do it. Because I can. So I guess while I start fixing this up, I have had many a thing on my mind lately. My husband and I have been watching an Outer Wilds playthrough, because I really like that game, but unfortunately it's a game you can only play once. So sometimes I will go and watch other people play it. And it's a great time! Seriously, highly recommend that game. Go play it. Don't watch somebody else play it. You can only play it once. Spoilers are going to completely kill the experience. But if it sounds at all interesting, if you'd like, go to the Steam page and read about it. If it sounds interesting, definitely give it a try. It's a very good game. But while playing that, somebody was trying to land on something in their spaceship that they were not meant to be able to do, basically. And it is technically possible to do so. Yeah. And when we played, my husband actually did properly land on it. So we were discussing orbital mechanics while watching this person try to land on this thing orbiting the sun. Oh man, and it just made me realize how counterintuitive the world actually is. Of just... when we, as humans, are moving around on the Earth, if there's something that we want to go grab, we walk towards it. Like, that's just how we think. That's how it works. That's how our bodies are put together. It makes sense. And so we see the thing... and we walk over and we grab the thing. If I want a cookie on the counter, I'm gonna go upstairs and walk to the counter. That's just how it works. But this is not how it works in space. Not at all. Like, if you want to get into a closer orbit with something, the best way to do that is to slow down. That's how you do it. And it's just so fascinating to me, because with space being so counterintuitive to our little Earthling human experience, I actually think that there's probably more things in life like that than you might even be able to imagine. Because sometimes the way things appear is not how they are. That's why we have the scientific method. So this way we go and test how things are actually working. And we take our puny human understanding and ability to see and optics, all of that, and replace it with math. Math is a bit more reliable than our eyes and our brain. It just is. And so these are things that I try to remember whenever I'm feeling down about myself creatively. Of just our little human minds. Well, they feel things, they see things. They're not necessarily entirely wrong, but they're not necessarily entirely right either. And I think that's important to remember. And also, just because you feel something doesn't mean you have to act on it. Feelings are real, but they do not necessarily have to lead to action. They can. They are very useful information. I was just reminding myself a little bit of that yesterday when I was talking. About how I'm continuing my quest to draw fast. And how... Man, if you asked me if I could draw a face in under an hour last year, I probably would have said no. If you had asked me if I could draw a specific character's face and have it actually look like that character in under an hour, man. That was definitely not something I could do 6 months ago, even. Probably not even 4 months ago. That's why I never drew any specific characters for Inktober. I didn't think I could. But now I can. I can do it very reliably, actually. So that's been pretty cool. And so it just tells me that, you know what, someday I might be able to draw fast enough to write a comic. So I'm gonna keep working on it. And yes, it was somebody flying into the sun repeatedly for about an hour. That got me thinking about this. And discussions about orbital mechanics. Brains are weird like that. So I've been trying to do many things, and it has been a struggle. Because with the aforementioned comic that I've been wanting to write, and trying to get all that to work, I'm still in the process of writing the story. I have never properly written a story by myself. I have made characters for role-playing, I have made stories with other people, I have done that kind of thing, so I am pretty confident in my ability to write characters. But actually figuring out what they should do, oh man, that's hard. I got no idea, man. And unfortunately, most writing advice I can find on the internet, and even just talking to people that do write, it's a case of, that meme where it's draw 2 circles, draw the rest of the fucking owl. I'm in the stage where I have to draw the rest of the effing owl. But... oh no. I don't know what to do. And it's hard. And I reached a bit of a wall in my initial draft here. In that... I can tell there were some good things in there, but I do not think I can use it all, and it definitely gave me some good ideas of where I want to take things, but cannot use a lot of those exact words. Gonna probably just have to rewrite the whole thing, and I'm also not quite sure where to take it from there. So I have to figure out something else. And I'm unfortunately under the impression that this is normal. Creativity is terrifying. So I have been doing much internal screaming lately. It's like I look at my art and I'm just like too slow. I don't know if I like this. And yada yada yada. Just all the things that come into the average artist's brain. And then I'm writing and I'm just like, oh, no, this doesn't actually make sense, does it? Oh no. I need to know the future. but I don't yet. But it's okay. I have some amount of faith that I'll be able to get through it all. Just because similar things happen to me with drawing. Like, unironically, I think I have mentioned in the past that I really started to get good at drawing when I stopped trying to draw line art, basically. And I just really embraced the way that my brain saw the world. I saw shapes and light. So I drew that instead of trying to draw, I don't know, circles and stuff. And I was able to make sense of it, and since then I now draw more circles and stuff, but in more a more volumetric way as opposed to outlines. So I just have to figure out the same thing with writing. So I've been having a good time reading how other people approach it. See if I too can figure out how to draw the rest of the owl. Still have a goal for finishing or being able to start actually drawing it by the end of the year. That'd be pretty cool. I want to have the whole story written before I start doing too much drawing. Like, maybe I'll do some character designs if I just happen to really feel like it, but in terms of actually drawing the comic part, I really want the story written, so that this way I don't have to be thinking about that and attempting to draw a full update every week. That sounds like suffering. I know some people do scripting and drawing at the same time, but holy hell. That just sounds like way too much work for me. So I want to try to have the story written first. And that I do not think is too different from trying to write a book. So I've been using a lot of literary advice here. I haven't actually looked for comic-specific advice, but that's just because I have trouble picturing it being any different, really. Maybe I should. Just see what people have to say. It is a different perspective I can look at, and I do think such perspectives can be very fun. Man, I didn't realize her back hair was so wrinkly. Okay, I'm gonna go hide the side bang here. Once I find it. Let's hide some of these little loops and loose strands as well. Just so I can really see what I'm doing over here. Because, man, I remember spending an eternity trying to get all of this to look right. I don't remember if I properly did the upward turn when I was going back and doing the back hair everywhere. It doesn't look too bad, so it kind of makes me think I did. I just missed a couple of spots, which isn't really that big a deal. I think I'm actually gonna unset it here and just hair back. Yeah, that'll actually be at the top, won't it? Yeah. Okay, let's make sure I have everything in the other directions exactly the way I want it before I go and do the back hair there. That seems like a good idea, because now I've noticed that there's like little things here and there that aren't quite right. And it looks weird and I don't like it. So I guess I'll just look at this, and while my mind continues to marvel at how counterintuitive the world actually is. I've been reading a lot of old-timey science, too. Just how they arrived at the conclusions. Yesterday was, Aristotelian physics. It was pretty interesting on how he came to a bunch of conclusions about the 4 elements. Of, earth, water, air, and fire. And the kind of observations that people of that time period were making. And how the reason that, Aristotle's view on physics was the predominant view for a long time was just because this was before the scientific method was created, and it was hard to disprove empirically. Because, I mean, they made sense from a raw human ability to observe their surroundings perspective. Because basically what he said is that everything was made out of those 4 elements except things in space, basically. Things in the sky. Which were made of aether. And of course the Earth was at the center of the universe, so everything was just trying to return to their general sphere of influence. So that would be Earth at the middle, because Earth sinks in water, so Earth is the heaviest, so it's going toward the center. And then you have water that sits on top of the Earth, and then you have air that sits on top of everything, and then you have fire, which holds up the sky. Holds up the sun. And then you have the celestial sphere, which does not apply to our earthly plane. That's where the gods live, and the sun. And I just thought thinking of the world of that like that was just so interesting. Because I mean, anywhere with a formal education now we learn otherwise fairly early on, so we just never really think about it. We never look at the Earth and just say, okay, why do things move? What is the Earth made out of? Why do plants grow? My daughter asks many questions, but they have not really been about this. And even my son, who seems more inquisitive in some ways, has also not asked a lot of questions like this. My daughter has asked why it rains. She was very curious about that and what clouds are. And also why flowers have so many names. So, I mean, there is that kind of curiosity there, but I do think that at least from my personal memory, I just do not remember asking these questions when I was a tiny human. And then I was taught the answers to them, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So I never got to see the world from the perspective of what am I truly observing? What consistencies and inconsistencies am I seeing? And what do I think is real? So that's been pretty interesting. And it's also interesting because Aristotle's brand of physics also covered stuff about philosophy. And was still called physics. Just because that's how he saw the world. And a lot of humans apparently agreed with him. So. And I've said before that when drawing, one of the first things you have to learn how to do if you want to learn how to draw well is forget everything you know and actually use your eyes to see what's there. And this is also just making me think of how many things that we learn that... how do I phrase this? So it's like we learn things and it completely changes our perception of the world. Not just symbols, but also just ideas in science, ideas about ourselves, and everything else. Just, we learn things, and it completely changes how we view the world afterwards, because, man, if I didn't read a clear explanation of these old-timey physics, I mean, there's no way I could have come to the same conclusions. Part of it is because I believe something else, but... man. I just never looked outside and thought about... why water is wet, or... some of these other things. Never stop using your brains. Alright, let's check over here now. Yeah, I think over here is looking better, so... let's look up here. Yeah, I've been having a great deal of fun just looking at some of these old scientific theories and just being like, man, they were wrong, but this is so immensely creative, I love it. And I'm using a lot of ideas, and the story idea I have for my comic, lots of it is based on debunked science. Had some fun figuring out what the world would be like if there was an actual celestial sphere, and also still space, because, well, I'd be too sad if there was no such thing as outer space. This is my setting, I can do what I want. That's the joy of fantasy settings, you can indeed just do what you want. Honestly, the world is just so immensely interesting. So many things to see. And so many things to do. I hate having to choose. It's the worst. So it does look like the back hair is almost done here. It's already all looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy. I do have to kind of fill in over here a little bit, but that's okay. That's something I can do. And I think this is looking all pretty okay. I don't know. Looks like I still got a little bit of squirming going on. Yeah, there's like a little thing right through here. When I go up and down, it wiggles quite a lot. That might be covered by bangs though, so I'm not quite sure if I want to spend a bunch of time on that, if that's how it's going to be. That might be the kind of thing that I revisit if it becomes necessary with physics. Let's go ahead and fill in this gap just a little bit there. And then I'm gonna go turn on all of her side hair there. See how much I need to care about some of this stuff going foosha, foosha, foosh. No, seems okay. Yeah, seems okay to me. The highlight on this might be going up a little bit too much when I go down, though. So that I might want to fix. That's actually probably worth. So let's hide some hair again. This time I have to hide a little bit more than last time, but that's okay. So we'll go hide all the side hair here, and should be one of the back, and also a tiny strand. Here we are. Okay. And actually, with the way this is, I think I have to hide this too. So I just kind of feel like the highlight here is moving up a little bit too high. So I figured that I'd move it down a little bit. It's like her head's not moving back that much, so... Or I guess I should say it's not turning down that much. So I shouldn't change it quite that much. Maybe a little bit more than that, but... Right idea. Gonna try to smooth out the outer edge of this hair a little bit too. I think it's perhaps a little bit crunchy. Most of the time it's kind of covered up, so I didn't really worry about it too much. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Let's do a little bit more cleaning in some other spots. Just get everything the way I want it to be here. Because I definitely don't want a bunch of squirming hair. That just sounds incredibly silly and kind of unfortunate. I guess hair being a little bit squirmy might happen if it's super curly and bouncy, but that's not the case with Shalom, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Man. Back hair always is really hard, isn't it? I always have so much trouble with it. The mesh is a mess and everything. Everything is just connected to everything. It's very tricky. So I'm gonna have to think about that for a little bit. I'm also a bit half asleep, so... Hopefully my brain can handle this today. I think I'm doing okay, though. We'll see. Sleeping continues to be hard. It's like I'm used to it to an extent, but man, do I wish I wasn't. don't know why I haven't been sleeping, though. A lot of the time it's because my kids are loud and they wake me up, but that has not been the case the past couple of times. Past couple of times, my brain's just been like, hello, I'm awake now. And I'm like, cool, stop it. It's like, no. Rude. So rude. I've heard that having trouble falling asleep and staying asleep and being tired when you wake up all tend to be 3 different things. But I tend to have both of the first 2. And rarely at the same time, which I guess makes sense if they are results of different things. But it happens often enough that life is hard. And I wish life wasn't so hard. It'd be nice if it was easier. I just remember days like yesterday where it's just like, oh man, I got all this stuff done and I didn't even have to lift a finger because the interpolation just got the strands looking right and everything was great. Wish I could have more days like that. That'd be wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna have to consult the mesh on this. I really hope the mesh can help me because... oh dear. Okay. The mesh is perhaps a tad messy. Okay. It has at least given me some ideas, so that's a start. I'm trusting in you, mesh. Don't let me down. Okay. I do think that helped. So let's see how that looks now. Before I was just kind of looking at the mesh, so I wasn't looking too closely at the art itself. Yeah, I think that helped. I think that helped a lot, actually. So hopefully I can just use my somewhat sleepy eyeballs to handle the rest of this. It's okay. Overall, I think my eyeballs are doing well today. Definitely sleepy, but, like I said, I was having fun discussions with my husband about silly things. And science, and how we're gonna teach our kids about science, and keep them curious. I do think the world and society as it is does try to beat the curiosity out of us. The curiosity, the honesty. Just reminded when I was in high school. I always had so much trouble writing essays for English, and I never knew why until recently. But I think, just because that was the point that I realized that although I was supposed to be kind of writing about what I think about something, that was not what the teachers actually wanted. They just wanted me to kind of regurgitate their talking points. And, claim it as original thought, and it just offended my sensibilities so deeply that I struggled super hard with it. It was more than offended sensibilities, I put it like that, but that was the point where I realized that to get along in society you have to lie, and I didn't like it. Being 14 is hard. And so I do think that just the way people are educated, the way other people treat them, it really does try to beat a lot of original thought and curiosity out of people, because those things are dangerous. Those things will make people not like you. And I think it's a little bit sad. It's like, I think if we want to have more scientists in the world, we gotta stop doing that. Because otherwise those little scientists will be too afraid to poke their heads up and share their thoughts. And do that enough times and, well, they probably won't be little scientists anymore. Just how it is. That's why I always try to say, stay curious. The world is beautiful. It's a wonderful place. Don't let people convince you otherwise. Okay, so I think I am getting pretty close to getting the hair looking a lot better here. So hopefully I'll be able to fix the lower left and right here shortly. We'll see how much I need to do. I might just unset them and hope the interpolation has my back here. I don't know. That also sounds scary, but it might be easier than trying to finagle this mesh. Because, oh man, the mesh is just a mess. It really is. Deeply, deeply unfortunate mess. And it's not something I'd be able to fix easily. There's been times where I've remeshed things in the past, but man, right now I just cannot be bothered. I don't want to redo it. I don't want to. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to suffer. It'll be fine. I am almost done with all the hair. I can suffer a little bit. Either way, I'm gonna have to suffer, so I might as well do it in the way that requires less dot making. Man, though. Oh boy. Okay, gotta get comfortable for this. Because I swear, every time I start getting the highlight right, this part down here starts freaking out on me. And I just don't know how to reconcile these two things, because they are very much connected. As you can see, I don't really want to move these vertices too much. But I feel like I kind of have to in order to get the level of smoothness that I want in certain places. So it's rough, man. It's so rough. I think I'm almost there, but I said that a few minutes ago, so I guess we'll see. It is not necessarily cooperating with me here. I think this is probably good enough. There's still a little bit of shifting in the very top, but even when I go up and down, I barely see it. I think this is okay. I don't think I should let myself just get repeatedly stuck on these things. Okay, I don't have much to change over here. It looks like I already fixed most of it. So that means I probably don't have to unset it. I can just slide that down just a little bit there. And maybe all will be well. All is not well yet. Okay, let's try... Do I want to do it like this? Did that make things better or worse? Did I compare? Are you set now? You are set now. Let's see here. I have a decision to make. And... okay, I think unsetting it helped a little bit, so I'll leave it like that, and then I'll just clean some of this up and make it better. Gonna make this a little bit rounder there. Make all of this a little bit smoother. And pray that helps things line up. Crunchy, well, I'm just testing right now. Because at this point I'm kind of going into the final stretch, so I'm actually taking the time to really make sure that everything is lining up top to bottom, left to right. So I should be able to go everywhere without seeing gross shifting. That is the hope, at least. I can tell I'm perhaps a little bit tired because I keep missing buttons. It's one of those days where it's like, man, I really don't want to take a nap. We'll see if I really need it or not. I don't like taking naps. I don't like having to sleep at all. People are just like, that is so nice though. But no, it's not. It's so boring. Can't do anything when you're unconscious. I got so many things I want to do. So many things. The world is great. The world is fantastic. So many things to see, so many things to do. It's truly wonderful. And I always hope that coming here will make people appreciate it just a little bit more. So I think it's easy to get kind of sucked into doomer takes, but nah, just look around you. All the nice sounds that the wind through the leaves of the trees makes, and just the amount of research, technology, and human progress is even required for you to be able to come sit here and watch the silly stream that I do every day. The fact that I am using a computer more powerful than the ones we sent someone to the moon with to make cute animate pictures. It's fantastic. I love everything. Truly. And then just think about how each and every one of our lives is nothing short of a miracle. I'm not just talking about, like, existing, but existing as we are, just how many generations of humans had to exist, how many, you know, thousands upon thousands had to come together, form societies and everything, just to get the genetics that make us up. For thousands and thousands of years. And how if even one of those little things was different, you would not exist in the state that you do. There'd be something in your genes that's just different. Because they trail back to the beginning of time. Or at least the beginning of life. Everything about the world is truly miraculous. Every little thing. Even the parts that suck. It's like if you're sad, then it just goes to show that you care about something enough to be sad about it. And that's pretty cool in its own right. Caring about something is hard, but yeah, I think it's worth it. It just opens you up to pain. Embrace the pain. Embrace the love. That's the way I see it. Man, I continue to ask myself, why does she have so much hair? Lining this up is not easy at all. Oh my goodness. There's just so many little bits. And at some point I'm gonna have to fix her neck. Because, like, I didn't draw it long enough. I thought that halfway through the head would have been fine, but no, I gotta draw more neck. And I don't trust the current version of Inochi2D enough to directly replace the texture, so I'm gonna have to think of something. If I used a nightly build, it might work out okay, but I remember last time I tried to replace something that it just completely crashed the software, and I ended up fighting crashes for the entire stream, and that was just very sad. So I'd rather not do that again if I can help it. So I don't think I'm gonna worry about the back hair on the lower right for now. I think I'm just gonna do the left side, and I'll do the right side after I finish the upper right again. And then I'll worry about everything there, so that this way I can just swing her head around wildly and everything will be okay. Just because I feel like if I go there and make a bunch of changes right now, I may not have a good feel for whether or not they are correct. Or at least not as thoroughly as I can here, because I can just go up and down and see where everything shifts. And I just can't do that over on the right yet. Gotta finish the upper right again first. This is why I'm thinking of revisiting my entire process for how I go about doing some of these things. Oh yeah, I do think this is significantly better than it was. A lot less little shifting. I think it's okay for there to be a little bit of shifting in the highlights. That's pretty normal. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I will call that a completed upper left turn. Well, until I decide to tweak things, because I do think that there's still something a little bit off in her face. But I kind of want to get all the hair done before I start messing with her face again. It's because I do feel like it's close, and I'll be able to see things a little bit more clearly once I have all the corners done. Like, it's like when I look at how her eyes move up here, there is something clearly wrong here. Something is definitely off with this eye in particular. So that's something I'm gonna have to figure out. But I think I just want to get the hair done. So let's see here. Do I have it in me to do more hair? I don't actually feel like I have to do that much. Like, I don't think I really messed with anything here. Yeah, this is all just interpolation. I unset everything. So it is just mostly going to be cleaning. Is there anything that I want to fix? There's probably going to be. I should probably do it when I have less tired eyes. Well, I guess I should just get started. Let me make sure that things are good from the middle here. There's something going on here. Let me take a look here. Okay, I see it. It's literally just this part in the middle. It's moving too much. Yep, that helped a lot. It's amazing how such a small detail can actually make such a big difference. Okay, now I kind of want to clean some things up over here. So I guess I'll just be taking a quick look at some of these things on the diagonal, just to make sure that it's all the way I want it to be before I move on. Just do that for the last, like, 5 minutes. Because I do think I am perhaps a little bit too sleepy to have the critical thinking necessary to really dig in to that final turn. Final version 2. Probably am for this too, but that's okay. I gotta do something, right? I don't want to just stop stream early. I mean, I might end up doing so if this is just how it worked out, but I'm finding stuff, so this is fine. This is totally fine. We'll just do some small things and try to perfect what I'm seeing here. Need to get a little bit more dark area out down here too. So here I guess I can indulge in my perfectionism a little bit. Really dig the shadow out here. Don't want it to do too much. Just wanted to line up with the left turn a little bit better than it was. Yep, there we go. Huzzah. All is well. I like rigging. Rigging is great. It's hard, but it's great. Just get to watch all the things move and Now it's all really coming together, and it's neat. Oh yeah, and you can see, I finally restarted Inochi2D yesterday, even though I've been meaning to do so for like 2 weeks. Okay, there we go. I was like, wait, where'd the model go? Moved too far to fix the size of the brush. Wouldn't be surprised if one of these days I just really dig through this and do a whole stream where I just make small tweaks like everywhere. Do everything I can to get this looking as 3D and not squirmy as possible. We'll see. I do like working on it though. I think it looks pretty cool. Kinda glad that I was able to, I don't know, bring some more life into the art here. I do really enjoy the art from this game. It's so nice to look at. Which makes it fun to work with here, I think, even though it's hard. Okay, hard and fun are not mutually exclusive concepts. Video games have taught me this. After all, some of the best moments in games that I can remember is overcoming something very difficult. So I don't mind things being a little bit hard. I can deal with it. Okay, and thus that little area looks slightly better than it did before. I am pleased. I'll take it. I actually kind of feel like some of the tips of her bangs here are also moving a little bit too far to the right. So I guess I'll just very, very slightly move them back over here. Trying to be like super ultra gentle. They weren't that far off. It's probably why I left them there. I honestly probably could leave them there. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I haven't done the shadows yet. Doing that just reminded me that I was gonna have to fix the shadows here. So I have not done the shadows for the upper left turn, and I should do that. Yeah, I should definitely do that. That sounds important. Okay, well, let me fix them down here first. Okay, so we're not just procrastinating on the upper right head turn now. We actually got something we gotta do. Oops. It's cool. I don't actually expect them to be that wrong. They've never been that bad, so here's hoping. Here's hoping that it all works out. Okay, that seems okay. Let me start pulling out the ones on the outer side here. I think that they're just a little bit too tucked in. I want them... The shadows here are subtle, but I want them to show their faces a little bit. Just a little bit. Need to just peek out from behind the little hair strands that they represent. Now, on this side, on the other hand, these guys are showing way too much. So we gotta push him back. This one needs to go back into the hair here. That seems like it might be okay. We'll see if this side bang is showing a little bit too much. Nope, seems fine. Cool. Life is good. I guess before... Oh, hello there, Luminance. My morning has been going pretty well so far. Probably won't be on much longer because... Well, I've been going for an hour and I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm a little bit sleepy. I just realized that I forgot to do the hair shadows here, so I was doing those real quick. Oh man, the ones here are actually pretty far off. They should not be showing that much over there. Where is that? There it is. Yeah, the shadows in this artist's art style are very, very subtle, so I like to try to keep it that way. Owls, huh? Is this talking about my adventures and wanting to learn how to draw the rest of the owl when it comes to writing? I'm working on it. Okay, yeah, I think that's a little bit better. I think it was just showing way too much there. Yeah, there we go. I think it's showing a little bit too much over by your hand here too. So I'll get this one as well. Where is it? Can never remember which layer does what here. Okay, here we are. They all look the same to me. There we go. Let's, I think I'm gonna have to use my hand in order to get the rest of this looking a little bit better there. Got a little bit messy at the end there. And then right here I think is a little bit off too. I actually made the downward shadows really prominent for some reason. I'm surprised. I'd been trying pretty hard to keep them fairly subtle. And what is that? Is that just okay, yeah, that's shenanigans I'm gonna have to figure out for when I do a proper coat toggle. I'm not gonna worry about it for now. Okay, things are looking pretty good though. Alright, let's just fix up those couple of little things that I saw down here that I wanted to fix up. 'Cause why not? Okay, there we go. That's a bit better there, and now back down to the shadow. There we go. And it looks like I need to straighten out a little front bang here, and a couple of different places. That's okay, I can do that. And adjust the shadow accordingly. If I recall I did mess with some stuff around here at one point, so it's not too surprising that I need to kind of feel out where the shadow should go here. There we go, that should be a little bit better. There's still this, like, right there. I don't like that. I probably had something in my head, but it's not working, so we're just gonna pull this back a bit. A lot, really. It was sticking out a bit too far. I don't know, that looks weird. Okay, do I see what's going on? I'm gonna ask the mesh. Mesh, what's going on? Okay, I think I understand. I think I understand now. It's alright, sometimes I just have to ask the mesh for its opinion. It always has some good ideas. So, no harm in doing so. Mesh is surprisingly smart for a bunch of triangles. Alright. I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, so I think I will leave it there for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.